Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is the Football Brotherhood. We're back on to do our predictions. It's game week 25. How are we, my friend?
I'm alright, mate. Yeah, we had a bit of a mad one weekend, didn't we? We had the double header of the United game and then City straight after. If anyone wants to know, just don't ever do Sunday Club. It's not worth it, guys. We only just feel human again, don't we, kids?
It's not big and it's not clever, to be honest. At least my team won because I can fall back on that,
Yeah.
and I mean, even worse for you. But yeah,
Well,
I mean,
Alex,
look,
you remember when City had that stink of a result? I'm like, right, I'm going home. I'm in a right mood, and do you know what? That would have been the best choice.
yeah. Honestly, we're so out of sync. I've not even looked at our predictions from last week, so I mean, I don't know where we're at with that.
Yeah.
We'll put them on at the end of the video how we're doing. But I think you got a United correct score.
I did.
I think I had Spurs to draw against City as well, so I think we might have split a little bit last week, but we'll put it at the end of the video. So firstly, look, thank you for tuning in, and let us know your predictions down below. Hit a like and subscribe to the channel, and obviously play along with us in the comments. So we're going to get straight into game week 25. Friday night fixture.
Yeah.
Leeds are hosting Nottingham Forest. Like
Big
my
one
brother
with a
said,
clash, innit?
we had a excessive Sunday, so we're going to have to look at how these teams did last weekend because I can't remember anything. I barely remember the United and the City game.
Alex, imagine anyone joining this for the first time. You don't get this on Sky Sports, guys.
They won't get this on the overlap. Maybe they might relate to it. Maybe people did the same as us, and they went out on Sunday because United was 2 and City were 4. So anyway, let's get into it. Look, Leeds, I do know how they did. They got spanked by Arsenal after me sort of backing them.
No.
Maybe a bit wishful thinking, really. They got leathered 4-0 at home, and now they've got Forest, who grinded out a very, very good point after Nico Williams decided he was going to save a certain goal for no reason and got himself sent off. So, right, look, tight one. I'm going to go with 0-0, Christian. Let's go straight to this one. Two teams struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
Low. I mean, they both need the points. Let's have a quick look at the table. I mean, fuck me. It couldn't be any tighter. They've got the same goal difference, same points.
6 point of this, mate. Look, I've gone a bit heavy on the scoreline compared to you. I've gone 2-1 Leeds. I think home victory. I'll back Calvert-Lewin to maybe get back in the goals on this one. Yeah,
Right,
Leeds win.
Yeah, 0-0, bit of a dice stink fest, which everybody knows he's capable of. And it's a big one, and I think it could be one of them where, yeah, we want to win, but we definitely don't want to lose. So, look, Friday night, might tune in, to be honest, if there's nothing else on. Says a lot about the fixture, no offence to anyone. Okay, streaking Man United. We've won 3 in a row under Michael Carrick against Tottenham, who have been really, really poor. They're ravaged with injuries, but they did get a point against your guys. You were very upset about City's performance, which we might touch on when we get to City's prediction, which is another biggie for you. United got a late goal, as they did at Arsenal, another 3-2 win under Carrick. And I've got to be honest, I wasn't impressed with Tottenham for the first hour. I thought they were abysmal on Sunday. And then City have got this second half issue where something goes on and they don't play football anymore. And you've got to give credit where credit's due, albeit the first one was very lucky. VAR should have ruled that out. The second goal's an insane one. I don't really know what you can say about that second goal. On Sunday, I am going to back my boys. I do think that there was problems against Fulham. It was not straightforward. We were probably lucky to win it, but we've got goals in this team. As you can see, we are one of the best attacking teams in the league, despite 20 games of Amorim abomination. And Carrick's got 3, 6, 8 in 3. So I'm going to stick with the goals with Man United. Unsurprisingly, I'll give Tottenham one. I'm going to go 3-1 to United.
Okay. Yeah, I tell you what, that matey can smell the Clippers, can't he? The United Stram dude, because he's got 2 games. So if you win this, Alex, do you know who your next one would be after for his finale? West Ham. Fucking hell. So he's really in touching distance. Yeah, look, Alex, this is a difficult one because Spurs, you are right, they were absolutely dross, and I think they are dross, to be fair. Looking at it simply, United should win, but United were lucky to get the win in that game, if I'm being honest. I thought Fulham should have got something. I thought they were a bit unfortunate at the end. Fair play to United, though. They are digging the results out. I found this one difficult. I've gone United 1, Spurs 1. You should win, but I just think, look, they got away with it a little bit last week. I think Spurs do tend to turn up a little bit more when they know something's on the line, a bit of a bigger team. Yeah, I think they might get something 1-1.
Yeah, I think Fulham exposed some Achilles heels of Man United, and as happy as I am, I'm also accepting of the situation where we are as a squad. And that, look, Michael Carrick can put people in their positions, but he can't wave a magic wand and make.
He can't significantly improve their ability, can he? So
look, Harry Maguire's not going to be great defending in a high line. Casemiro, Mainu are going to be occasionally if that press gets broke. Which Fulham broke it quite easily, by the way, and we missed Dorgu with that. So we've lost Dorgu on the press. We're now getting cut through by Fulham. There's concerns, and I think we're going to have the mid-table losses. They're going to be dotted around. Can we outscore opponents? That's my thing.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
I think I brought this up, though, about Harry Maguire. Any return listeners, I'm pretty sure it was on the last ep where we were discussing this about Harry Maguire, and I said that, look, I do think United have played well, but the players that have been playing well will get caught out eventually, and one of those was Harry Maguire I was specifically talking about, and we saw that. It is United's Achilles heel, so yeah, it'll be that'll be a fun one. I hope there's goals in it, but yeah, I have gone reasonably tired with a 1-1. Let's see, lad.
Yeah, I've got confidence in the attack, and United have got a bench in the games since Carrick's come in. Cunha's made massive impact in both big games off the bench. Against City, he was very good. Against Arsenal, he won the game. And then we had Sesko, who has come off the bench and won the game as well. So 2 subs have come in. They're hungry. They're at it. Sesko hit the post as well on Sunday. So as bad as we were inches away from really pasting Fulham 3-0 at that point. And then we got pegged back. So look, I back the attack, but they've got to stay hot, and that's the big challenge for me with Man United here, because we're going to ship some goals against these mid-table teams, which is mad because against City and Arsenal we kept them at arm's length quite easily, but there's a difference playing Arsenal away and Fulham at home.
When United are forced to come out, you start to see the problems, you start to see the cracks, don't you? So
the only thing I would say is Fulham are a much better side than Tottenham, and that's what I'm leaning towards. That's why I think we're going to win comfortably.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens. Hopefully the boys can make it 4 in a row. Something I'd like to. Anybody knows when the last time that was. It definitely wasn't under Amorim because he managed 3 in a row once. So
that lad had a normal haircut. That's when.
yeah. Fuck me. Like you said, in a week's time, because it's a midweek game next week, he might have a buzz cut. So and all his content might go away. So he's probably hoping for a Spurs draw as well as you as the weekend. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Aston Villa had a shocker on Sunday. I don't think there's any explanation other than that, especially when you take into account that Arsenal won the day previously. They have what might be deemed slim chances of a title, but they were in with a shout. Now the lead has ballooned back to 7. Which is, I mean, you might already be out. I think I'm verging on it.
It's 6 with City, 7 with Villa, isn't it?
Yes, we're going to come to City as well, because 6 is a dangerous one as well, and that could be that can't go up either. 7 for me. I think I'm close to being. I was not all in on Villa anyway, but I thought they could muster a bit of an effort, and that Brentford result on Sunday was shocking, right?
Yeah, I just don't think Villa are going to have enough, are they, if we're honest?
No.
It's unfortunate. We were both talking, weren't we, Alex, that maybe they could have gone a bit heavier in the window and maybe brought something in that could have been that difference maker. I know they brought in Tammy Abraham. Does that move the needle much? I just don't think it does enough. I think that, Alex, the weird thing is, Arsenal are going to present opportunities. This is not an Arsenal team that's like, they're 6 points ahead, they're 7 points ahead, you're not getting back. You have the opportunity, but can the other teams mount enough of a challenge to make their mistakes pay? And currently, we're seeing it doesn't matter. There's no pressure on Arsenal. And I think this is the way it's going to continue. So, yeah, look, for this one, it is tough, isn't it, coming off that result. I have gone with a Villa win, though. I'm
a 2-2 this weekend. I think Bournemouth have been okay since Semenyo went. So shout at them, and obviously they beat Liverpool, which was a great one there, and a pretty good result away at Wolves. I know Wolves are bottom of the league, but I just think with the way Bournemouth, that's a good 6 points that for me. I'm pretty impressed with that. So yeah, I'm going to go 2-2. Just a word on Villa, Christian. Is there any concern for you that they could get sucked into looking at a streaking team here? Are they in danger of a top 4 issue here?
Alex, I think, look, if you want me to be totally honest, I think Villa and City, neither of them can afford to be arrogant in that right now. United have put a little bit of a run together, albeit I put them in the same bracket of they're going to be streaky and they're going to drop quite a lot of points as well because of their defence. But City and Villa, are in a similar situation. And you're seeing this week in, week out, they can't be relied on. So I think we're all in that mix. We've got a little bit of a cushion. But if we're saying we're still in a title race, then we're still in a top 4 race in the same argument, aren't we? So
yeah. I mean, all of a sudden, Villa are closer to United than they are Arsenal. City are equally slap in between, where 6 off Arsenal, 6 off United.
It's even either way, isn't it?
If you're in a title race, you're also in a top 4 race. You'd have to be fair. I mean, look, Chelsea behind us, and then Liverpool a little bit lower, so maybe not. But yeah, just thought I'd mention it. Okay, let's get to next one. Who's up next? We've got the league leaders, Arsenal. Fighting on all fronts. Might be one for another day, that conversation. They're hosting Sunderland. Sunderland did get a great win themselves at the weekend against Burnley, I think it was. Let's have a look. I think they pasted them 3-0 and Scott Parker was very unhappy. So look, Sunderland keep picking up the odd win and they've been brilliant this year. Arsenal, great result against Leeds under reasonable pressure after the United loss. I'm going home win, to be honest. It might be boring, but I just think that Sunderland they've done very well, and I think they're a very good team at home. I'll be stunned if they go to Arsenal and get anything, if I'm being honest. I think a very unattractive 2-0 Arsenal win for me.
I've matched you, mate. I've got 2-0. I think, I agree. I think Sunderland are going to make this game difficult. I reckon they could hold them out for a while. But Arsenal do what Arsenal do. I think the pressure will tell. I think they will score a set piece. One way or another, they'll get the ball in the net. They'll probably add to it. So that's why I've gone 2. Do you know what, with Arsenal, it's just so hard I know maybe if we've got any Arsenal fans that join us, I know we've got Go Region, I know he's a big Arsenal fan. They might think we're a little bit harsh. It's a difficult one to place them, isn't it? Because fair play to them. They bounce back with a big win against Leeds. And they do keep ticking along, and they probably are going to do enough to get that title over the line. But I just ask some Arsenal fans, are you happy with the way you're playing? It's like that game against Chelsea. Did they need to shithouse it that much? You are miles better than Chelsea. You're at home. You could easily just put this team to the sword, and they chose not to. And sometimes it must be frustrating for Arsenal fans watching. But you guys let us know if there's any Arsenal fans and you want an honest conversation. Just tell me. I'm genuinely curious. Are you pissed off?
I think the closer they get to winning trophies this season, and obviously they're in the Carabao against you guys, and the league, the Premier League is obviously, it's in the balance at the moment whether we've got a title race or not, because in 6 games we might not, and I think the closer they get to ticking boxes, I'm not saying after 30 games it will be won mathematically, but if that lead gets to, I think you said it a few weeks ago, 6-7, you are at your maximum where you can claw anything back. And the thing with City and Villa is they've got to start playing well. This isn't a mathematical equation anymore. It's 6-7 point gap. But I know they're not blowing teams away. City and Villa have got to pick up and start playing well themselves, and that's where it's only 6 points. Yes, it's only 6 points, but are you going to start rolling? That's my big thing with City at the moment.
That's my point. Yeah.
I don't think it's, obviously, look, it's 6 points, man, and you've got them at home. Oh, well, that's okay. But are you going to start winning games? And that's the big thing here. So,
well, let's get to us. Yeah, we'll come into
we're going to come to City, obviously, on the Sunday, and it's a biggie, by the way. So, look, 2-0 all around, aren't we? Let's get to the next one. A few 3pms, which is pretty awesome to see. Bit of a throwback. Might get Sky Sports News on Saturday and have a bit of a throwback afternoon. Okay, Burnley, West Ham. Scott Parker called his team out effort-wise after that Sunderland loss, which is very disappointing. West Ham should have got something at Chelsea. They didn't. So, another biggie. There's some 6-pointers this weekend. This is one of them.
I tell you what, if you're a supporter of the bottom half teams there, it's a big one for you.
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't know where you're going with this, but I'm leaning towards West Ham getting some run together. I'm not saying they're going to stay up, and if they're going to make any effort to staying up, they've got to beat Burnley because they're one of the 2 teams below them. So I'm going to go with a West Ham 3-1 win here, and I think Scott Parker calling his team out effort-wise is a very, very bad look. As average as Burnley are talent-wise, that's not great in my opinion. I think West Ham are going to put them to it a little bit.
No, it's abysmal. Yeah, it's shocking if that's true as well. But yeah, do you know what? I was leaning with West Ham, and I keep thinking, look, are they going to stay up? They need to stay up. West Ham. I mean, in that stadium, I know they hate the fucking stadium, but it's just a bit of a mess they've got themselves in, and they need to get out. But then, are they going to? And I was toying with giving them a win, but I've gone 1-1, Alex, with this. I think it's going to be too much for them to take the win. I fancy Burnley to get something, a bit of a fight back, especially after them scathing comments. So, yeah, 1-1, mate, I've gone with.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Look, massive game, and with the Forest Leeds above them, West Ham have to have this circle this weekend that this is an opportunity to gain on, guarantee one of these two above you because they play each other. Worst case, they both take a draw, they win. Now you're back in it massively. Then you are 4 points off survival with plenty of games to go. So huge one for West Ham, man, and I do think you're going to get the result. We'll see what happens.
I think, Alex, for West Ham as well, like they're in a bit of this crossroads, aren't they? Obviously, they've got Jared Bowen. He's the captain, and I think if he goes down, if they go down, he's leaving.
Yeah.
And then you look at the players they have got. It just doesn't look good for them at all. I think they need to get out of this. They really need to get out of this, and then they need to strip that squad back and go again, because West Ham have never looked more in a mess than this. I am a bit worried for him, and I'm sad for West Ham. West Ham are one of them teams where they're a Premier League club by stature. Like it doesn't look right them going down. It's like when I could compare it to when Newcastle got relegated. It just seems so foreign. Do you know what I mean?
No, I totally hear you. They're an established team, but then so are Forest. I mean, Forest took major steps forward. I suppose Leeds is the one that you could drag back in, and then that would be, two promoted clubs going down with Burnley and Leeds. But Leeds have done okay. I mean, Leeds could get to 40.
Leeds going, Alex, because I think they've made some decent. They've made some decent investments. I think Calvert-Lewin's have turned out to be a great signing. I think they're going to do enough. So then you are dragging a Premier League club into this.
Yeah, or Tottenham. Or Palace, who we're going to come to as well. Right, Fulham have got Everton. Fulham were fantastic at OT. That's literally my honest opinion. I am very grateful that we have got good forwards this season, because the difference between this and last season is that we've gone from Garnacho, Højlund and Anthony, and that dross to Cunha, Sesko and Bumo and Ahmad, and that's the facts of it. If we had Garnacho and Rashford and Højlund like on Sunday, we were not winning that game. We got out of jail because our attackers are good in front of goal. We've got a good attack now. So Fulham are brilliant though, and they're great to watch. Sanderberg is a class player, I've said it for years, and Kevin with one of the goals of the season.
Kevin, fucking hell, man. What a hit.
I've got to be honest as well, with them playing that well at OT and being very unlucky to have Everton at home, this is a good opportunity for Fulham to really put a marker down. They are good at home, as you can see with their results there. That is where they do a lot of their eating, is at home. Yeah, and I think it's going to continue. I'm actually going 3-0. Maybe I'm a bit swayed by how good they were on Sunday, but I'm going to go with 3-0. Everton, look, they're the worst. Are they the worst attack in the league, Everton, still? I don't know if that's changed a bit. I know Barry Chuckle's got the odd one, but they've got 26 goals in 24 games. I mean, it's actually 9th versus 10th, but I am going 3-0, yeah.
Yeah, it's a heavy scoreline. I have gone 2-1 Fulham. Okay. I think Fulham are going to get the win. And yeah, shout out Fulham, man. They did play brilliant at Old Trafford, but I think they've made a good account of them several times this season. Look at home against my club. They capitulated first half, but they came back swinging. I really admire. I like a team that does this. I know it's fucking chaos, and in terms of like climbing the table, you're not really going to get much higher than where they are. But mate, they're great to watch. No one can dispute that, and they've got some talented individuals. I've seen Kevin a few times, and I tell you what, he's got some ability. I'm not just talking. I know it's only his first goal, but on the ball, he's a very good player. He can drop a shoulder and turn inside. So
yeah, he's got to get going, Kevin, because he does show very good glimpses, and that's his first goal, which surprised me when it came up.
It did surprise me, yeah.
Look,
they signed Oscar Bob though, Alex, as well. I think Oscar Bob quietly, that could be a very good signing. I always rated Oscar Bob. I just didn't think he was Manchester City level, but he could find his home here, and I hope he does find his feet.
No, facts. Look, these lot, they get one goal a game, quite literally. In their last 5, they've got 5 goals. Yeah, they are on pace to score about 38 and 38, I'd say. I don't see that changing, and I do think Fulham are going to play them a little bit. But they do pick up points, Everton. I mean, that's a biggie, that Villa one. Villa have had a couple of crushing losses, haven't they? Just forgot about that Everton one. Just before we move on, very, very quickly, on Fulham's coach and Marco Silva. Do you think he's next in line for a big... No, I'm not going to go... I want to say... Spurs. Let's just say Spurs. It's probably... I can't go any bigger than Spurs because I don't know. You know what? I wouldn't actually...
Don't do that to the poor fella. He's doing all right, Alex. He don't deserve to go there.
Yeah. Let's chuck Chelsea. Let's chuck, because United, I don't think United would do it. Not that I'm saying it'd be bad, or probably not a great thing for United to go and do unproven. But let's say Chelsea and Spurs, who love a Pochettino, they love a bit of a, he's doing well mid-table. A Potter, you know what I mean? Do you think he's the next one in line that could get a Spurs crack at the whip, or a Chelsea if Rosenior doesn't work out?
Yeah, potentially, and I don't think it's undeserved. I do like him, and I know the Forest owner, wasn't he? He was flirting, because I think they have like a personal relationship outside of football, and I think there was problems with getting him out of there, so they just went with the easy option. But yeah, I wouldn't be against it, but I think Alex, he's got to be careful. Like, you look at Thomas Frank, you know, it was the obvious move, go to Tottenham. Is he the upgrade? Are Tottenham going to do enough for you to really push yourself forward? Yes, they've got a nice stadium. They have got European football at the moment, but they ain't going to have it for much longer. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like managers have got to be careful. I understand maybe they'll get higher wages. Is it better for their career overall, though? I think, you know, if he gets an opportunity like, say, a Chelsea, and he thinks he could tame that squad and strip it back and work with it, maybe. But, yeah, I'd like to see it, Alex, but I would like to see him carry on with Fulham for a bit longer and see where he could get them to, because I like the way they play.
Yeah, no, I like Marco Silva. I think he plays football the right way. I mean, we see it weekly with Fulham, who are not on the budget. Some of these other teams are.
Yeah.
But they are on the same points as Everton, and that doesn't work out in my head. So maybe they need a big one at the weekend after the unlucky side of things at OT. So, bottom of the league, Wolves against Chelsea. Wolves' mini revival crashed and burned against Bournemouth with that 2-0 home loss, which, to be fair, I don't think I had that. I think I did back them to get something. They've got Chelsea, who have been pretty good under Rosenior. As you can see there, quite a lot of wins, and then they had the Carabao loss at Arsenal. Look, I'm going to go...
They had a disaster against West Ham, to be fair. I mean, fair play, they fought back, but...
They did fight back, yeah.
Big win in Napoli, though.
I'm going to go 2-1. I think it'll be closer than people think to Chelsea. They did have a tough game midweek against Arsenal, where they did have a go as best they can. I know Arsenal make it very difficult, but they did have a go. Wolves have got the week off, as they always do. That might pay a little bit physically. I'm going to give Wolves a goal here. I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea.
Yeah, I'm not giving Wolves a goal. I think if you look at them, the goals really have, I'm saying, dried up. They weren't great to begin with, were they? But apart from that cup game, looking at it, yeah, I've gone 2-0 Chelsea. I just think a routine victory. There's not too much to be said on it. I think Wolves are what they are. They're waiting to get relegated and then see what they can do from there, aren't they?
Yeah, it's curtains, unfortunately for them. Right, okay, last game on Saturday. Saturday's got a great slip of games, to be fair. Right, okay, Newcastle, Brentford. Look, they've got to be the biggest underachievers for me, Newcastle, this season. It's getting to the point now where playing well in the odd game is not enough now. I know they played last night in the Carabao, and maybe this might be a little bit reactionary. I really thought that was a bad night last night for Eddie Howe. You can lose to City, right? There's no shame in that. And to go there and play 5-3-2 or whatever shit he thought of this weekend, and go all-out attack from minute one. I don't know whether he saw Rosenior go defensive against Arsenal. Fuck that, I'm going to go all-out attack against City. Mate, Rosenior got it marginally right. You stay in the game.
I think he did what he could do, didn't he, Alex?
You stay in the game for a decent period, and they were nervous, Arsenal. Yes, you got a breakaway goal in the last minute. That's when you concede those goals. That Havertz goal, you were scoring them from minute 10. It was abysmal last night from Newcastle and Eddie Howe. And look, the pressure for me, I'm starting to think, if you ask me yes or no now, is he there next season? I'm leaning towards no right now. This is not form. They are an 11th place team with a 0 goal difference, Christian.
Yeah, 0 goal difference is damning, and I think, you know, we were talking about Newcastle last night during the City game, weren't we? And we were speaking about a lot of their investment, and I know when we were doing videos in the summer, we did a few transfer hits, didn't we, Alex? And we spoke about when they were going in for Ekitike, and a few people were in our comments going, rating Newcastle's business, and if Newcastle go in for someone, then that's a good pointer for your team to go in for them. I tell you what, well, that's fell off, hasn't it? That's fell off a fucking cliff. Because when you were telling me last night, Alex, they spent 275 million on that bunch of players you sent me the screenshot of, which consisted of what? Voltemada, Elanga, who else? Who were the other big ones in there? Alex? There was some...
Visser and Thor, I think they were the biggies, and then you paid a 5 mil lower fee for Ramsdale.
I am worried. I do like Eddie Howe, but it's been a bit of a season to forget for him, hasn't it? And I don't think they will jump at it. But the way they're looking, Alex, if they slip down the table anymore, the regression is not good, is it? You know what I mean? They are well off Europe. United have picked up. Villa are miles better than them. You've got Chelsea and Liverpool sat above them. Can anybody really see these challenging for Europe now? Because I can't.
No, I can't. I think they need to focus on a top half finish and do whatever they can in Champions League, but they could easily go out of that. Look, they got a great result there, but these are not good. This is poor, man. They're shipping goals. 2-0 at home to Villa, 4-1 away at Liverpool. I backed them to go to Liverpool and win. They got battered by... they went 1-0 up as well. I'm not happy with Newcastle, man. I'm really disappointed with them. I like the team he built. He's gone away from it, and whatever that was last night, that 5-3-2 monstrosity. To think that was a good idea was just mental to me. So big concerns, and I am again I'm putting too much hope in Newcastle or faith, but I do think they're going to beat Brentford this weekend. But I keep saying this is the last weekend. I'm going to look at Newcastle and go, they'll take care of business. Yeah. They're going to win 3-1 against Brentford, and don't feel confident about it, but I've got faith in Newcastle and Eddie Howe, but you've got to start turning it round.
Yeah, I went tight as well. I went tighter than you. I went 2-1. Right. I do back Newcastle to get the win. Which is ironic after our monologue there, but I am worried for them. And I'm not confident myself, Alex. I think if they go goal down, look, what I saw yesterday in that game, the defence. I've never seen. It was abysmal, that. The team was just getting ran through. Reinders had the freedom from the halfway line to their box. It was just unbelievable. Reinders looked like prime Yaya Soure yesterday for 45 minutes. It weren't good enough, and I do worry, but I have gone with them to edge this.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I'm going to go 3-1 after all that, but that does not take away how disappointed I am with Newcastle, and the reason I'm picking 3-1, that's why I'm so disappointed with where you are in the league in 11th for 33 points. Don't forget, that's a low points total. 33 could have you lower than that in other seasons as well, so... Look, big one for them at home, and it's a 5:30. They need to get up for that, man, and play some fucking proper football. Right, Brighton are hosting Palace. Palace, who I think got a pretty good point. I know it was 10 men, but they needed to stop the bleeding a little bit with those losses. As you can see there, not good form. They've lost Gahey in January, which I still think was probably not the best idea if they get dragged into a West Ham relegation scrap. But they got a point, and every point matters at this stage, and it keeps them out of arm's length just, I'd say. But Brighton are good at home, and I think Brighton are going to win. And they're going to win 2-0 in my opinion.
Yeah, this is...
I can't give Palace a win. When was the last win? I'm not being mean here, but seriously, mate, when did Palace last win a game?
Yeah, this is another sticky one, which I was struggling, but do you know what? I was leaning towards just a bit of a wild one with this and going for a Palace win. But I am not sure. I'm not confident at all. Look, do you know what? I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to go Palace 2-1.
Palace are going to... Wow,
yeah, okay. I know it's mad. Look, it's against the form, but Alex, I'm not doing too well on the predictions going with the easy results, so I think I need to spin this round a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, look, low-key Brighton, we've just been slagging Newcastle off, mate. You're 13th. That's not good either. If Spurs had any sort of... Well, if Spurs
it's not exactly mountains, is it? You would back Brighton at home. Usually they are better.
I am doing 2-0 exactly, mate. But I'm serious now. That they if Tottenham get any sort of self-pride together, they're actually their true position is more 14th because Spurs should be higher. Brighton, how are you behind Bournemouth and Everton? It's just unacceptable this season. I think teams are getting away with it. And their manager as well. He's another one. He's another one that I think's highly rated. He plays out from the back. Don't forget, they fucking nearly tossed the game away at City with that playing out from the back. I do wonder. I think a lot of teams are getting away with it this season a little bit. And Brighton's coach is one of them. I think they have. 13th.
I think they have, and I mean, like, even when you look at Palace, it's like, you know, their manager is kind of like thinking he's above it. He's thinking he's above this situation, but at the end of the day, mate, you're 15th. I mean, and you did have Gay, you've only just lost Gay. You are sat in 15th, and he's only been gone, a week, 2 weeks? It ain't looking good, and I don't think, when we were talking about, are United going to move on Glasner? Why?
No, exactly.
I don't really see it. I don't see where he's going to go from
here.
I can see Glasner staying because I think he rates himself more highly than the rest of the clubs in the world do. Where's he going to go?
I mean, just a very quick one before we move on to the biggie City and Liverpool game. West Ham have got Burnley, right? There's no guarantees here. Burnley are decent enough at home to do something there. If West Ham win and Palace lose, probably you would say expected results from the weekend given the fixtures. You have got a 6-point advantage over West Ham with 13 games to go, and you're Palace who can't score a goal. So, this is my point where, yes, you're okay, you're 9 points adrift, but if West Ham can win a couple, you're within one game then of West Ham. So massive for Palace to get going. I still think they could slip into something, but we'll see. Obviously, they've got a 9-point lead over West Ham. Obviously, that's huge at this stage. But
It'll be interesting a week today when we come back and look at this again to see at the state of the table what these results felt like at the bottom half, because it's a big weekend. A lot of them are facing each other. There's going to be a lot of movement, isn't there?
It is, Christian. It's massive. No, you're so right. Okay, I mean, speaking of big, it doesn't get any bigger than this. Liverpool City's always been a great fixture, even though the last season or two, the two sides, one of them has dropped off, being you last year, now Liverpool this year. But it still has got great feels to it for me. I do enjoy this fixture a lot, and obviously the peak of the Klopp days, it was class with Pep. And look, this is massive. Liverpool have sort of again steadied the ship a little bit with that massive win against Newcastle. But they are just throwing in these like, wow, we lost at Bournemouth 3-2.
Draw to Burnley.
City, your league form's atrocious. There's no other way of saying it. You've beat Wolves, and that is it since maybe December. I don't think you've won a Prem game other than Wolves.
Alex, it's shocking. Let's just get into this. The patterns that are emerging in games, and I tell you what, it's like last night, and I see some people on social media and they're gassing up that we're going to Wembley and stuff, and they're saying, no, this defence will be okay. Did you watch the second half of that game? No wonder Pep is begging for the EFL to change the law and let Gay play, because he knows we're in trouble. I tell you what, Alex, if Newcastle had offensive players that had eyes, they could have had a chance last night, and I'm not even joking. Let's be honest, they should have come back and won. They had enough chances to win the game. City were absolutely shocking. We were well in control of that game. We fell asleep, and the second half, we were waiting for trouble.
I mean,
and they
even
let
the
us
first
off
half,
time and time again. And shout out Trafford, by the way. I thought he had a really good game. I
mean, even Willock and Gordon in the first half, before it went to complete shit for Newcastle, Trafford made a great... I don't know what was it, Willock or Ramsey, forgive me, whoever it was, but it was basically a one-on-one that they just half-arse rounded Trafford and didn't get anywhere, and Trafford ate Gordon up.
These things you were saying yourself about City falling asleep in the second half. Sometimes falling asleep after half an hour, though, mate. And you look at the game that we watched on the weekend against Spurs, and that was just shocking. It was just waiting to lose. We were lucky not to lose that game. You're 2-0 up. How is this team so amateurish? How am I watching a team and they've got Bernardo Silva in there, Rodri? You know, these guys are winners, Donnarumma, Haaland. How are these letting this happen? I understand, look, I can't really come at Ryan Cherky and players like that. Not that I'm saying he had a bad game, he did score a good goal, but you could understand with them players more. They've not seen the heights. Them lot that are in this team, and we are 2-0 up, and they don't have the professional nuance to go on and just see this fucking game out. It's pathetic. I'm seeing it time and time again, and I am not confident going into this, because one thing I will tell you, Arsenal can go into these games and, you know, half of them you expect, they look like they'll be good on paper, Arsenal City, Arsenal Liverpool, and then it turns out Arteta's going to pull something out of his arse and do a shithouse. But we won't. We will both go at it, and I worry what it looks like with Liverpool coming at us. Wirtz has hit some form. Ekitike looks very good. He's sharp in front of goal. I seriously worry, Alex. I think Gay's fantastic pickup, but I just don't know if that's going to be enough. What's your thoughts?
I'm going 2-1 Liverpool, to be honest. I'm happy where I am now with City, from a rival fan's perspective.
I'm not.
Until I see it, Until I see it, I'm not changing my opinion now, because I'm sick of it. I'm not saying City are going to get this together, and this applies to Haaland as well. I've got to the point now where until you start scoring, that I'm not treating you as what I think you are as a player, and I'm the same with City. Until you start winning some of these games, I mean, this would be an incredible win, right? I want to put that out there. If you go to Anfield in this form and turn them over, I think that's a massive statement. And the next prediction, I will talk about you differently. Right now, tossing Leeds away, beating Wolves at home is your only win since December. I'm sorry, I can't talk about you any other way. Where I think it'll be close. I don't think City are going to get battered, but I do think Liverpool will be too much on the day, and that's my prediction.
It's fair, Alex. The one thing we haven't touched on is how bad Liverpool are defensively. I do think they're going to be found wanting, and City have got a very, they've got luxury at that end of the pitch. Semenyo's in good form, Cherky is as well. I think we're going to cause problems. I've gone 2-2. I think high scoring. I think we're going to share the points. I don't think Liverpool will beat us. I just don't think they're good enough. But likewise, I don't think we are. And do you know one thing you said, Alex? If we go and get a statement win, yes, of course, on the day, I'll be jumping around, going ballistic. When the dust settles, mate, I will still be looking at this the same way you just spoke about the club, because I've not got any confidence in them at the moment. That when we went away and played Bodo Glint, that didn't look like an anomaly to me. That's the way we've been playing since the turn of the year. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? We played like that in the second half against Newcastle and just got away with it. That's the only difference. So
I agree. Until anything changes, I'm not going to change. I mean, look, I've been slagging United off for almost the whole season. If you lose at the weekend to Liverpool, possible, and we beat Tottenham at home, should be a result we're looking at. United and City have a 3-point gap. And we've sacked a manager after 20 games. I've got massive respect for Pep. I've got massive respect for a lot of these City players. That to me, and I'm talking about my own club here, by the way. I'm a United fan. If United and City have a 3-point gap, Sunday evening, I'm sorry, that's unacceptable for everybody involved at City, including Pep. It's just not acceptable. United have binned 20 games of this season. We should be nowhere near City.
No, it's true, Alex, and with the investment that we've made and continue to make in January, it's not good enough. City need to get this together. Look, I agree that the defence has been absolutely decimated, and that hasn't been easy, but you have just got to sign Gay. I know he's got to fit in, and Gay does look a great signing. City have got to get this working, and I don't actually think, look, the defence is poor, but the way we get ran through in midfield, Alex, when you are playing a double pivot of either Rodri and Bernardo is done, right? He's a good player on the ball, and he will be until he fucking retires, because the guy is a top player. However, his days of playing in England at this tempo, they were left a year and a half ago, maybe more. Rodri, I don't know when we're ever going to get this guy back. I keep talking about this time and time again. Personally, I don't think we will now. I think I've seen enough to now look at this rationally and think, is he going to get back to anywhere near what he once was? And I can't see it. And then
again,
you look at Nico
Gonzalez. Christian, until you see it with Rodri, I got to assume that
you've got to treat him, Alex. You've got to treat him how he's playing right now, which he's playing is a mid-table. A mid-table DM, sometimes less than that. He's getting absolutely ran through. He's poor on the ball.
People can have bad games. That's not an issue. But if it's 6-7 games, until things change, and look, I don't fully rule City out here. I don't love Liverpool, but I was with 2-2 as well, and I don't know. It's my honest answer. I'm going with the safe-ish route because, like I said, until City win a game that's not against Wolves in the Prem. I'm going to lean to the other side. I did it with Tottenham. I got a draw right last weekend, Christine. So, massive one this weekend.
Our record at Anfield, Alex, you probably are on a safe bet, because our record there is absolutely torrid. And if you look at these players that have a history of shit in the bed, these players just come off the back of shit in the bed at Old Trafford. You're now going to Anfield, which is worse. So, do I have much hope?
No,
I don't know. I mean, it's going to be an interesting one. I think high scoring, definitely, and I reckon for the neutral, mate, they're going to have a good Sunday afternoon.
Well, if we do take care of Tottenham, which I expect to happen, we are in a very good position, because either you're going to drop points or Liverpool, not from a rival perspective, from a table perspective. If I'm sat there 3 points off City, I don't think we're going to come up with City, so maybe you beating Liverpool in real term is probably better, because that knocks them away from top 4. But either way, if we take care of business against Tottenham, I think the table's going to look good for once for Man United fans. So Massive one. I can't wait for it. Let us know in the comments what you think about that massive game and any other game, by the way. Whoever you support, let us know in the comments. Massively appreciate it. Christine, we'll see you after the weekend and we'll talk about how we did and get into some videos next week. Okay.
Here's my mate.